Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and the Patriots looking to rebound from the tough Week 1 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. A surprise cut coming across for the Patriots. What is the latest for Stefon Diggs after a surprising snap count? We dive into the numbers and see where they might go from here. Some tough news about Gillette Stadium and a look at what's going on with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for the channel. Get into the comments and let us know what you think the Patriots need to do to ensure that they come away with a Week 2 win at the Miami Dolphins. Is Stefon Diggs already back to full health, and what he can do to get more involved in Week 2? And what is going on with Bill Belichick? What is your take on all of this? Also, make sure you go down, give us that like if you like what you hear. Make sure you go back and check out all of our old episodes after this one. We start with a look at the surprise cut by the New England Patriots, and really a shocker that this standout player looked to be pushing for a role in the defensive backfield for the Patriots, but they have decided to waive DJ James, who has seen a lot of the defensive backfield because of the injury to Christian Gonzalez. Alex Austin actually stepping up really well and getting the start with Gonzalez out. But the Patriots have really gone towards more of the safety role, and James looked to really have that fourth, fifth cornerback spot wrapped up, but really only played 5 snaps in that Week 1 game, and it was mostly coming on punt return and only had 2 snaps on defense in that season opener. Additionally, he had some trouble in that punt return unit as the Raiders gunners, had some success. So I think the Patriots are really looking to shore up the special teams here and really flesh out the defensive backfield. And this coincides with another move that the Patriots announced just the other day, as Jeremiah Farms, the defensive tackle who actually just signed a 2-year contract with the Patriots this offseason, was waived as well. He actually did revert to the practice squad, so stays with the Patriots and the ability to potentially make it back to the active roster. What this all means is the Patriots do have an open roster spot, so it will be very interesting to see what Elliott Wolf, Mike Vrabel put their heads together and see what is out there and what can best help this Patriots squad. Obviously, as the Wednesday before a Sunday matchup, whoever they decide to bring in will have a tough time to make an immediate impact. But I think at this point, what you see with the Philadelphia Eagles going and trading for someone like Tank Bigsby, the running back who fell out of favor in Jacksonville, it is all about always looking for ways to make this team better. And the way you do that is by looking at the bottom 3 players on your roster, being very honest about that fact, and continuing to make it better. Hopefully, these are the types of moves that can help potentially strike gold for the Patriots, as they will need to make sure that every I is dotted and T is crossed going into what should be a winnable game for the Patriots. Additionally, we take a look at the big offseason edition and Stefon Diggs coming out to help Drake May. And there was questions throughout the summer, where is he at coming back from this ACL tear? There was nothing to say that physically he was not ready to go. But it's fair to ask, when you're over 30 years old and coming off a serious injury, how much you'd be willing or able to participate. And it is a little bit surprising, because if you dive into the numbers a little bit more, now, yes, he had 6 catches on 7 targets for 57 yards. I think a respectable number. But if you dive into the snap counter, it tells a much different picture. There were 71 offensive snaps in that game. Stefon Diggs played for just 41% of those offensive snaps. That means he was only out there for 29 plays that the Patriots ran. If you're paying a $30 million wide receiver and he's only out there for less than half the time, that tells you an important story, that he is not fully cleared and ready to go. You would love to see Stefon Diggs out there for the majority of snaps. The leading wide receiver for the New England Patriots was Kayshon Boutte, playing 82% of the snaps. So missing 40% of the snaps compared to what their quote-unquote number one wide receiver in Booty might have given them. That's where you want to see this go, and that's something else that will very much help Drake May. I think obviously the offensive line needs to do a better job of giving May time, but they need to connect on these plays, and it makes it a lot easier when you have a sure-handed wide receiver. To further break it down for you, the top offensive skill position was Hunter Henry, out there for 93% of snaps, and will continue to be Drake May's security blanket. Booty, we said at 82, then nobody else above 65%. It was really spread out, and yes, this is part of what Josh McDaniels would like to do, but you'd rather see some key offensive weapons out on that field. Ramondre Stevenson was going to go the old basketball route and give you Deshaun Stevenson. Ramondre, it checked in at 65% of the backfield snaps, with Travion Henderson checking with just 35. So again, he's going to get his wheels under him as a rookie. Expect that to inch closer towards a 50-50 split. The other two wide receivers that led the charge was Pop Douglas at 63% and Mac Hollins at 56%. Don't be surprised if Efton Chisholm is actually active for the first time in Miami, and see if Kyle Williams can't fight his way onto the field. It is very clear that the Patriots have a lot of needs at the skill position and need to be able to put up more points in order to give themselves the best chance to win. And while it's always been very difficult for the Patriots to go down to Miami early in the season, it may actually be in the best interest for the Patriots to get away from Gillette Stadium. While we've grown accustomed to home field advantage in Foxborough and wanting obviously to have packed houses in front of these teams, the Patriots over the past 18 games have won just 3 home games. Yes, a 3-15 overall record at home over these past few years. To put this into more context for you, when Tom Brady was at the helm, and yes, this is the greatest quarterback of all time, some of the greatest teams of all time, but when Tom Brady was at home over 158 games, including the playoffs, he lost only 23 games. The Patriots are quickly approaching that mark in just 3 years with 15 losses in the last 18 games, and that is absolutely a recipe for disaster. Now, obviously, that's not starting off on the right foot with the loss to the Raiders. With so many new moving pieces, again, you can give them a little bit of a pass. Hopefully, again, with Pete Carroll, known for quick turnarounds, coming in there, Geno Smith, Chip Kelly, a revamped defense, the recipe for success was there for the Raiders. The Patriots now get matched up with a Dolphins team who had potentially the worst loss in the NFL, getting trounced by the Daniel Jones-led Indianapolis Colts. Now, obviously, again, a lot of obvious statements, but needs to be said, the Dolphins need to fully regroup and know that they need to get a win, especially doing so at home with a coach Mike McDaniel, who is very much on the hot seat. There's still a lot of weapons and talents, and Tua Tagovailoa obviously did not play well. And yes, I promise I will stop saying obviously soon enough. But Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devin Achane are all still there. Tyreek Hill has struggled, is showing his age, and there are some off-field issues that are plaguing him as well. And while the defense for the Dolphins is not what it once was, it's still not the easiest thing in the world to play against. So again, deck will be stacked. The Patriots have an opportunity, and I think if you looked at it to say what we were projecting 2 weeks ago for the Patriots schedule, you probably had a win versus the Raiders and a loss going down to Miami. Looking at week 1, Raiders come in, get the win in a surprise, if you will, and the Dolphins get blown out on the road by the Colts in a very surprising fashion. So throw out everything you know, perhaps, and let's play the game on Sunday. We finish up with a quick look at some of the drama surrounding former head coach Bill Belichick. And again, when you are that successful for so long over the course of nearly a quarter of a century, things can kind of sometimes go differently. We're at the point where we have to ask the question, is Bill Belichick welcome in Foxborough? He apparently seems to think not. Now, the new head coach for the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, they also had a tough week one loss. But it came out that Belichick has actually banned the Patriots scouts from coming to North Carolina to scout his players. Now, again, not a great strategy for college players to have an opportunity at the NFL. There's only 32 teams, so why you would ban one and how the administration thinks that's potentially a good thing remains to be seen. But Belichick came out after the initial report at his press conference and stated that it's clear I'm not welcome there, talking about Gillette and Foxborough and pretty much anything for the Patriots at their facility, so they're not welcome at ours. It's pretty simple. This comes off as very odd because he was just at Gillette for the Brady Hall of Fame induction less than a year ago. So he's been here recently, and Mike Vrabel uh, kind of pushed across when he was first asked about this before last Sunday's game, and saying that we'll worry about scouting when we get to that, was followed up after Belichick's comments and on his weekly radio show. Vrabes did point out that he was there for Brady, so he said he believes he is welcome. He's here. There's nothing to it, and kind of again is sidestepping these things, but it's the deterioration of what was a strong relationship. And again, when you start to lose towards the end, you lose a lot of the trust that you had built up over a long time. In my eyes, it doesn't take away from all the amazing things that he did do for the New England Patriots, but you have to own the end of it as well. And unfortunately, it's revisionist history, and it is what happened most recently sticks further into your brain. So that is what is remembered. And I think for Belichick, it works the same way, where towards the end, he was not getting some of the things that he wanted, or able to do some of the same things, because he didn't have Tom Brady to cover up a lot of potentially some of those blemishes. So I expect this to kind of drag on here a little bit more. Hopefully, the hatchet can proverbially be buried, but expect a few more layers of this onion to be pulled back before any resolution is come to fruition. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, let us know what you think about Belichick. Is this just sour grapes? Is there more to this? Do we even care, or is it time to move on? Can the Patriots get back on the right track here in week 2 against the Miami Dolphins, and can they actually turn what has been a home field advantage into a road advantage in just playing away from it? Can Stefon Diggs get into his return to all-pro status, and what do the Patriots do with that final roster spot? Also, make sure you give us that like. Go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know exactly what's going on with your New England Patriots, and we'll continue to have it right here for you. Fight on, Foxborough.